right, don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. Promo code Goodfellow1Boxing. Get you 18% off the 100% all natural products. Website, promo code, description. Thanks. All right, man. Got some, let's just call it water cooler talk rumor going around about Terence Bud Crawford. And I believe somebody was telling me, or I seen a video where they said that Terence Crawford had plenty of options. And they're not just worried about what goes on with Errol Spence, but this ties him directly to Errol Spence. Is the only reason I'm including him in this video, and I don't want to talk about them in the same video at all. But hey, Goodfellow Sports TV, appreciate everybody for tapping in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Won't miss another video. And yeah, man, what's going on here is that Crawford he probably gonna move up. Yep. Terence Crawford is expected to move up to the 154-pound limit. You all can thank Jaime Munguia for that. Jaime Munguia said that I think it's known that he's moved up to middleweight and he won't be fighting his mandatory challenger, which is the guy with the arrow pointing to him, Carlos Adames. Okay? So Carlos Adames is going to be fighting for this vacant 154-pound WBO belt. I think a lot of you guys can connect the dots together where I'm about to go with this. It's being said around the top rank offices that one of the contingency plans for Terence Crawford is to have him move up and fight Carlos Adames for that vacant WBO belt. So they looking to make Terence Crawford a 4-division champion, or I like to say title holder. I think he was that guy at 35 and 40. He hasn't proven to be the elite lineal champion at 147. I don't think there's a lineal champion there yet. But if you had something close to it, most people would say it was Errol Spence. So where Errol Spence get brought into this at is that if Top Rank can't get the Errol Spence fight for Terence Crawford next, one of their contingency plans is to have Terence Crawford move up and fight Carlos Adames for the 154-pound belt. Now, I have a history. Crawford was sparring some guys like Gleason Jim. I think it was in Brooklyn. That footage is somewhere on the internet. And Carlos Adames gave him some good work. Now, it's worth saying that Crawford had sparred 2 or 3 guys before him. And he was interchanging sparring partners. And people who translated to Crawford getting beat up by Adames. But he had been sparring like 3 or 4 guys, it seemed like, for 10-minute rounds. And, at the end of the day, I've never been impressed with Adames. He's 5'11", 76, 77-inch arms or something like that. Every time I see him, I just not impressed at all. I don't see what the hype is about. It may be because he was trying to drain himself and be a welterweight and it took some of his legs and energy away. But basically, if PBC ain't willing to make the Errol Spence and Terence Crawford fight, Top Rank going to be looking to make Terence Crawford a 4-division title holder at 154 pounds. Why it's interesting is because Bob Arum said he thought Crawford would tap out at 47, but once again, he's going up there looking to get a title. Now, is this a Mayweather thing where I'm just getting the title and I'm not really going to defend it versus the best in the division? Could be. It was rumors going around that he may compete at the 154-pound division, but he ain't been at 47 that long. He fought Jeff Horn, Jose Benavidez, and he fought Amir Khan. So he had 3 fights. And he'd be fighting Ingus December 14th. That's a fact. I got that news yesterday. That's a done deal, unless something happens. So he had 4 fights at the welterweight division after December if he can get past the Mean Machine. And that's going to be going down, I believe. I didn't get a venue, but I'm thinking it might be MSG. But don't forget, it's several other combat sports on that night. So even though that's the Heisman Trophy night, okay, where they use the Heisman Trophy presentation and then they segue over to boxing, and Lopez and Comey IBF title fight is supposed to be on the undercard. The Zone has a card with a unification bout with Estrada and Kel Yafi is that night. PBC is planning Harrison Charlo 2 and Hurd and J-Rock 2 that night. Also, UFC is planning a pay-per-view with Emmanuel Nunes and maybe Khabib. I'm not sure. I know Nunes is supposed to be on there December 14th. So December 14th is a packed date because nobody really wants to fight the week of Christmas and after Christmas and right before the New Year's. They want to enjoy their holiday and stuff they face. But, you know, Crawford is prepared to move up unless the Errol Spence fight can be made. But I think it's a situation where he just grabbed a belt just to say he a champion or a title holder, and he might defend both of the belts. I don't know exactly is he going to compete at 54, but the plan is to move him up to 54 and get him that belt. So Errol Spence, what he got lined up next, like I said, I did a Danny Garcia, Manny Pacquiao, Charlo video first because Danny Garcia is the number one contender for the WBC title that is probably going to be held by Errol Spence come September 28th. You know, it might be 29th on the East Coast time where I'm at, but he is expected to be a unified champion, WBC IBF. And Danny Garcia can sit in his position and actually be the mandatory. But it's expected, like I did in my last video, is that Danny Garcia is going to fight Pacquiao. I heard that's just the formality of them hashing down some things as far as contracts, and I'm not sure about money, but I heard that's a go. Or that's what they expecting to do. So don't get excited when you see Pacquiao at the Errol Spence Sean Porter fight. He expected to be there, okay? But Errol Spence is going to have a UGIS mandatory. He has an IBF mandatory coming. I can't pronounce that guy's name. The guy that's the IBF mandatory is putting his mandatory on the line versus Luis Collazo, which Luis Collazo can win, and I believe he will become the IBF mandatory if he can get past the guy. Now, Collazo is now fighting on Top Rank. The Qdoba guy, I can't pronounce his name. He fighting on top. He with Top Rank. So they're going to produce a mandatory for Errol Spence. So at the end of the day, it'll be interesting. And most people come up here crying and say, well, unification bout, it supersedes, it supersedes mandatories. Once again, that is a false narrative. When it comes to unification bouts, it's at the discretion of the sanctioning belt body. Okay, if they got a unification bout where they say, okay, Errol got the IBF and WBC and Terence got the WBO, right? Just because it's a unification bout doesn't make all mandatory can win. It don't work like that. If Errol has an IBF mandatory or Crawford has a WBO mandatory, the WBO or the IBF has to clear him to get into the unification bout. If they don't clear him and say, well, fighter A been waiting too long, you got to take care of your mandatory first or drop the belt. It doesn't work. Just because of unification, people automatically think, oh, mandatory. No, it's at the discretion of the sanctioned belt body. And for people who don't understand what discretion of the sanctioned belt body mean, it's up to them. It's subjective. It's up to how they feel. If they want to say yes, they want to say no, they want to say maybe, it's up to them. Okay? So for Errol, it's either going to be fighting UGIS, okay? If the Danny don't go through for whatever reason with Pacquiao, Mikey steal it because Mikey talking about it. But if Danny get that Pacquiao fight, like I'm hearing he will, it's going to be up to Errol. Either fight one of your mandatories or try to apply for a unification fight with Terence Crawford and try to get them to clear the way for you to fight Crawford and put your mandatories on the back burner. So the heat is about to turn up on Errol Spence, okay? It's already been up on him. All right, all the questionable shit that he said, and people could say Terence Crawford said some questionable shit. No doubt about it. They both have. But he about to be in a position where he might look questionable, but he ain't have no control over it. Like, I want to keep both of my belts. But they telling me I have to fight UGIS. They telling me I have to fight the either Collazo or the Qdoba winner, whatever his name is. I had to see Crawford at the end of the year. But with all that money behind that fight, as far as Bob Arum, Al Heyman, they can pay off the WBO. Bob Arum got the what Bob order. That's what it stands for. He got the clout to, like, come on. And he's about to fight his mandatory Ingus anyway. The PBC controls Yuga's career. They can make him wait. The IBF is the one that's kind of fishy, but Bob Arum controls the IBF. Don't forget that. Bob Arum controls the IBF because his two fighters are fighting for the mandatory right now. So it's no excuse for them not to fight. Because Bob can say, well, the Collazo Qdoba winner, I just call him Qdoba because I can't pronounce his name. The Qdoba and the Collazo winner, they injured. They can't fight next. IBF be like, well, okay, we're going to have to wait. All Al Heyman got to do is pay Ugas or have Ugas step aside, and Ugas can step aside, and they can fight because Crawford already satisfied his mandatory. If they want to make the fight happen, it can happen. But if you hear Errol Spence saying, I got to fight my mandatory, you know, then he ain't really trying to take that fight. I'm telling you that right now. Or maybe Bob Arum ain't trying to let Qdoba Collazo step over as the IBF. So you never know who it is. But it ain't gonna look good. If the WBC mandatory stop when they could pay you to step aside. WBC do step aside all the time. They make Jamal Charlo wait all that fucking time. You know? So at the end of the day, the gateway is open for Crawford and Spence to happen next year. The first fight next year. Crawford handled his mandatory. Errol and his management company, or whatever you call PBC television company, whatever they is, television series, management, promotion, I don't know what the fuck they is. All right. They control Ugas. Push him out the way. Bob Arum control the IBF mandatory. He could push them out the way. It's space and opportunity for that fight to happen. Right now, it can happen. But if it doesn't happen, Crawford is going to move up and fight Adames for the vacant belt. Now, if it does happen, or Crawford doesn't move up, or feel like moving up, or he can fight Errol Spence and get another PBC foe or something like that, Carlos Adames is probably going to fight Patrick Teixeira, the Brazilian fighter, who has about the same height and length as him. He been stopped by Curtis Stevens, though. So he'll fight the Brazilian fighter for Jaime vacant belt, for those who care. So you either going to get Crawford and Adames, if Crawford is victorious December 14th versus the Mean Machine, and Adames for the vacant WBO 54-pound belt because Maguire is moving up to middleweight, or you can get Crawford versus Errol Spence for all three belts, and they can unify the three belts because they companies control their mandatories. And if the fight don't happen, it's because Errol Spence say I got the WBC mandatory. I want to see the excuses that his fanboys gonna make, his apologists gonna make. Because they can easily pay that man to step aside or wait. You got the strength and conditioning coach crying because he been in all in the videos, saying what he own, saying he don't need Earl. He sending birthday invitations and shit. You know what I'm saying? I heard Earl cutting these niggas off. He ain't doing no interviews. He got a real strength and conditioning coach. And next thing you know, he gonna have the real voice of the streets. He gonna pop up with a new YouTuber and give him interviews in the truck. You know what I'm saying? He gonna give a new YouTuber the truck interviews, and you know what I'm saying? He done went from Mr. I.O. Yuckmouth TBA. He didn't use Negro Fight Fan TV. He gonna find a new YouTuber. He got a whole new team. You know, new strength and conditioning coach that trains Zeke. He gonna have a new YouTuber with a nicer truck, with a better platform, with a better mic, with a better camera, who don't need to use another nigga for clout to get his show off the ground. Earl just renovating the whole operation. I ain't mad at him, man. You never know. He might go to White Jesus Fight Fan TV. You feel me? Shout out to Earl, man, for realizing niggas trying to use his name for clout. They do anything for clout. YouTubers is mad. YouTubers is sad. YouTubers is trash. Oscar the Grouch. Ouch. But hey, appreciate everybody for checking in. Goodfellas Sports TV. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email. If you got a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, and video request, don't forget to check out our sponsor, Hellblaze, at thehellblaze.com. Promo code Goodfellow1Boxing. Get you 18% off the 100% all natural products. Appreciate that love, support. YouTubers is mad. YouTubers is trash. YouTubers is Oscar the Grouch. Hey, keep sharing the videos. We'll make a donation. Best donation you can make is share the video. Instrumental link is in the description. Excuse me. And let me know what you guys think about Crawford potentially moving up, fighting the Adames for Jaime Maguire vacant 154-pound What Bob Ordered Belt. Appreciate that love, support, man, and keep tapping in with your boy. Check out the playlist: boxing, NFL, NBA, music, entertainment, the whole nine. Should be my last boxing video for the night. One time for the one time. It's your boy CJ Goodfella, Goodfella Sports TV. And hey, hit that subscribe button, share the video, and let me know what you guys think about Crawford moving up and Errol maybe fight him in Unification bout next year. Appreciate that.